Hello, everyone, and welcome to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy book, TV, movie, pop culture, fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Natasha, and I'm fighting for my life with my voice.
And I'm Christine, and I should have done the intro today. Not thinking about that late at night when I set this up. But today, I'm going to do the rest of it. Today, we are talking all things Avatar The Last Airbender. The live-action show dropped on Netflix just about almost a month ago now, so it's time to discuss it. And we've had the cartoon for a long time, so we're gonna dig into that. We've got all different levels of fandom too. Like, I'm a casual new fan, and Natasha is a very new fan, and Chloe's like a deep fan of the Avatar The Last Airbender. Speaking of,
also, hi, I'm here.
Chloe, our social media manager, is our special guest today because she's a Avatar The Last Airbender expert. Yeah. Chloe,
so true.
You want to say anything?
I mean, it's only been a week. I missed you. You missed me. We've seen each other a lot recently.
Every week, this month.
Yeah, but not being dramatic, not being too dramatic. This is everything to me, and Avatar means so much, and I'm just obsessed with it, and I have a lot of really big feelings about this fandom. Also, a moment for my shirt, and I'll explain it for everyone listening, but I am wearing a Zuko shirt.
Ooh, he looks spicy.
He
looks
so
really
good.
hot on your shirt.
Yeah, he does.
I love it. Okay, I just absolutely felt myself up. I hope YouTube loves that.
I also have a themed
yes.
shirt. I have a sweatshirt that says Air Nomads, Sky Bisons, and then underneath it, I have Sky Bison Appa! Save the Sky Bisons!
I love it so much. Mine is from, Sophie's asking where they're from. Mine's from Hot Topic. I'm a Hot Topic girly
Box
to my
lunch.
core.
Mine's from
I
Box
love
Lunch.
box lunch.
Yes.
That's where I got Natasha's birthday gift. I went out of my way to go to box lunch.
I've gotten many a gift at Box Lunch too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the fangirlies.
I think Hot Topic and Box Lunch,
They're owned by the same company.
Yeah, they're sisters.
Yeah, I feel like Box Lunch is a little more family friendly and fandom based, and then Hot Topic is a little edgy.
Yes.
Which is where I got my Zuko shirt, obviously.
I know. I love that vibe. I love the vibe of your Zuko shirt. It looks like a band t-shirt.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those t-shirts with the multiple faces. I love this shirt.
If y'all don't know and you're listening and you can't see it right now, we have a visual version of the show on YouTube if you really want to see our shirts. And also, we're Katie is shouting out Natasha's mug, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's a stack of books. That's
With a rose.
mug
Stunning.
with a rose as the handle. Wow.
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 It's so pretty.
Wait, and then
Stunning fire.
look at my water.
Oh
One that
yeah.
Taylor got me
That's
for my
your
birthday.
lady. Yeah,
Very
I was about
cute.
to say.
Very cute.
I loved your strawberry themed gift. It was so
All
cute.
right, that's enough of the visual since we're on a podcast. We are going to roll in. So, okay, you can find the visual version, though, at youtube.com/those4king. You can watch the visual version, though, at a link in the show notes or at youtube.com/@those4kingfangirls. We are going to now roll into Snap, Crackle, Pop Culture News. We haven't recorded in 2 weeks, so a lot of shit has happened, all right? And the first I wanted to talk about was something that we discussed last week about the Twilight animated series. We dove into that a little bit. If you haven't heard the adaptation of Twilight that's going to be turned into a TV show that we were all very excited about, it was dropped that it's going to be an animated series. And we all have very mixed feelings about it. But on Method Agency's socials, I think they posted this. There was a video of Stephanie talking about this years ago, that if she was going to do a reboot of Twilight as a TV show, she wanted it to be animated. Thoughts?
That's nice for Stephanie.
Yeah. I think I still stand by my opinion that I believe that there should be a hero show and then there should be offshoots of animated.
Yeah. I liked that.
I like that
too.
A lot. I just think it's ambitious for us to hope for it at this point in time, but I would love that.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna happen. What I would honestly love, like the werewolf's point of view, like from an animated perspective, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
I
it
would
does.
absolutely love that. I think that would be fun. I'm still gonna watch it though. I mean, you guys said that.
Gonna watch it no
last
matter
week.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Watch parties? Question
Oh,
mark.
for sure.
yes. But
Yeah,
for the
for sure.
for just knowing that this is what Stephanie talked about years ago, like, and knowing that she's obviously behind whatever's going on here in terms of like the creative, it makes me more hopeful for it than I was before. I was kind of really on edge about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that they also go, if they do animated, that they do hand-drawn, like something more similar to like Invincible or just anime in general, or even like Avatar The Last Airbender, like we're talking about today. Like I really hope they don't go like the Disney animated route that they've been doing, like Tangled. I don't really want to see it.
I don't think they'd ever do that. I think maybe like Harley Quinn. Did you watch Harley Quinn?
I've seen it, but I've never like watched the
Like
whole episode.
I like that it's like edgy and adulty, and it's like a full moving cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Do either of you have something for us today?
Kate Middleton has been missing.
Oh my god, this story is crazy.
Story.
Listen. What, Christine?
Fill us in.
So, like, I hadn't really been following this very closely until, like, you get sucked into it on TikTok and all the wild theories and stuff. It is, I think the root of the issue is that I do believe, so, okay, here's a lowdown. Kate Middleton has not been seen since, like, before Christmas. They put out the Royals put out that she's going into abdominal surgery and she won't be back until after Easter, the Easter holidays, which is still rung true, which is fine. Okay, cool. And then people have just been like, where is she? What's going on? And it's because like they've been so upfront about a lot of things about like King Charles's health and all of that. And like, they're just keeping like very mum's the word on Kate. And it's interesting because there's so many different sides to this whole story. Like they're just dealing with a lot, but I think the root of the problem is that no one trusts the royals anymore. And especially after the documentary on Netflix with Harry and Meghan, and how we now know a lot of the inner workings of the royals and all that happens behind the scenes. And I do believe like something happened where like she had to have like a hysterectomy, and like she like, because what happened was at Christmas there was an ambulance that came and got her, and she got sent into like emergency abdominal surgery. So I think she had to have like an emergency hysterectomy or something like a colostomy bag or something like that. And like Kate has to uphold like an image, and so that's why she hasn't been seen. So I think people are like taking this like way out of proportion, like, oh my gosh, like I think there was an altercation and like maybe she's dead.
There's so many
My
conspiracy
favorite-
theories.
Yeah, my favorite being that she got a BBL.
Oh my God.
I was like,
What is that?
That would be such a serve. A BBL, a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh my God. How did you
You don't know what a
that?
BBL is?
No.
What?
How would I know? I don't
How
know.
would you? I mean,
Kim
she's
K.
got Olivia as a sister.
I don't know anything about Kim Kardashian. Or
Me
any of the
neither. All I know is that
Kardashians.
she has a BBL.
I didn't know that. I don't really understand.
Okay,
it.
well, anyways, Brazilian butt lift. I liked that theory a lot. I am deep on like cheating royals.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, and like
that Prince William cheated.
and I think that might be true.
That could be true easily.
Like probably in the
I think
past. Don't know
so.
if it's happening now, but their neighbors are these certain royals. I don't remember their name, and they would hang out all the time. And the lady of the house, apparently William and her had an affair. But I truly do think like she's had surgery. She has to uphold an image, and she's not being seen. Now there are some weird fucking things that they're doing, like posting photos that's obviously photoshopped. And also there was a fucking video that came out this weekend of William and someone who looks like Kate. Immediately I was like, oh yeah, that's Kate Middleton. And then I saw a bunch of videos being like, that's not actually Kate, that's her lookalike. And they put side by side images of these people. The walk was different, her cheekbones were different. Like, yes, at first glance that is Kate, but then you take a second look at it, it's not Kate, and it's weird. Like,
so
what they're
crazy.
doing to,
like, why do that?
Yeah.
Like, why do that?
They make a lot of weird choices, though.
They do.
They really do.
They do.
Like, they make choices that make them look weirder and more suspicious than if they just, like, left it alone. Like, let people speculate. Don't hire a freaking lookalike. That's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. Christine, I sent you that video last night. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I
look
haven't
at this.
been in the messages yet.
Oh, Katie says Rose Hanbury. So that,
Oh, yeah.
that's the girl.
They look
The
so
lookalike.
much alike, and it's so weird. You know what, like, I miss? You guys know that photo, that king photo of the
No.
lipstick drawn on his
No.
chest? So there is a photo of William and Kate. William is grabbing Kate's, like, pulling Kate's hair, and Kate has just written king in red lipstick on his chest. It is so
Wait, is
hot.
this a drawing or something?
No, this is like when they were in
no, this is a
college.
real picture. I'll pull it up. But like, I
What?
miss that era. Like, where is that? Like, it's hot. It's like book
Yeah.
girly coded for real.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, today in Taylor Swift news, Taylor is off until May. So she doesn't have any more shows right now. After they finish Singapore, she is off till May, where she'll be in Paris next on May
Yay.
9th.
Oui, oui.
With Paramore. So she's on to the next leg of the tour. Sabrina Carpenter is done with her leg of the tour, which is wild. But Paramore is very exciting. And that's about it with the Taylor Swift today. We're excited for her album, so she won't be back on tour until after her new album releases. So it's very possible that she'll maybe spice up the tour with some new songs from the Tortured Poets department.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Number one, I hope that Paramore keeps in the horror lyric.
That they've been doing it.
Because
They've been doing it now.
I know.
Yeah.
And they should.
Yeah.
Number two, I should just go to France. I don't know why I didn't buy tickets. That was kind of stupid of me.
I was like, wow, I have the sudden
should've
urge to
gone.
go to France.
Should we go together? I'll be your like
Are we?
translator.
Will we be able to get tickets to the tour? That's the
Probably
real
for like $1
question.
billion, yeah. This is a photo. I need you to see it.
Wait, that's real?
It's really hot.
He
That
has
is
so much
real.
hair.
So much hair.
He's so
It's
young.
so sexy. Look at the way he's grabbing her hair.
Wait, who took
It
this
is so
picture?
book talk. Like some paparazzi.
Oh my god.
It
It's
was
such
so
a good
controversial when
picture.
it came
It
out.
looks like a book
It's-
cover.
It's so hot.
What?
Insane.
Even.
Yep.
All right. Natasha, do you want to tell us about Lovesteria? Because tickets are on sale as of today.
Tickets are on sale as of today. We're very, very excited. It's so we have a 2-day event ball situation. Sorry, I just got over like strep throat and a sinus infection. So there's going to be a ball on June 21st, the night of, and then a book fair on June 22nd during the day. And there's separate tickets for each event, and then another ball at the end of the night. So there's a couple different tiers of tickets. You guys can look on lovestereo.com and see which one works for you. But we have a VIP ticket and then a general admission ticket. I'm not going to put that on here. Just make sure to check like the show notes for any like updates and stuff on this episode, because we are recording this a few days early and there might be like updates, at least for our podcast people. But I will let you know. Make sure like you're following Lovesteria on Instagram for any updates. But yeah, once those tickets go live, there's not a ton because it's going to be like a pretty intimate ball. But that's why we do have 2 nights. So we all just shot content for it, and all my lovely friends came to help. And Chloe and Christine
It was
there.
so fun.
It was so fun. And
Are we not your friends?
No, I'm just pointing you
Like,
out.
my friends came, and Chloe and Christine.
Oh my God. Including Chloe and Christine. But there's going to be open bar and food and all that good stuff. Again, I'm trying to get some big authors, at least like 2 to 3 more like big names there, just to have and like to hang out with us. And so it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited.
I heard this really cool author, Christine Riccio, is going. You know her?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of her too.
Christine will be there.
I'm excited to see her.
Thanks.
A month after Attach at the Hip will have released.
Yeah.
So most people will have read it.
That's wild. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So we'll be able to discuss in depth Attached at the Hip lore. But yeah, so just piggybacking onto that, I'm going to be an author at the Love Stereo Ball at the book fair on the 22nd, and I will be there both days at the ball, as well as I think all of us will be there both days, right?
She'll have a table in books for purchase and to sign, so that'll all be there. We're very excited. We're very excited. And like
time, we're going to be all dressed up.
Yes. And again, like I'm going to put this out there. If any of our podcast girlies go and they're coming in town or they're in the area and they want to do Disneyland on Sunday, I'm going to like promise to be there that day after as well with Christine.
I want...
you can come too,
I don't
Chloe.
think I can... No, I know.
You're allowed to
invited.
come too,
No.
Chloe.
I know I'm invited.
I know,
Also, we're doing Disney for my birthday.
When?
So we need to figure out a date for that.
Oh,
I know.
I
We
need
to
the
figure it
date
out.
because I don't have a pass. I got to buy tickets.
Me too.
Okay.
But
You're buying
anyways.
a pass, Chloe.
Oh yeah, you're right. I am buying a pass. Natasha lightly bullied me into it. Natasha and Danielle were like, "You're buying a pass." I was like, "Okay." But I think I have a wedding that day, which is tragique.
Oh,
but
bollocks.
yeah. Oh bollocks.
Bollocks.
Dawn.
All right. On the last thing on the news today. Oh wait, I have 2 more things. Okay, really quick. Has anyone heard about Quiet on the Set? Okay. Were you guys
Yes.
Nickelodeon kids? Okay.
Yes.
I was a Nickelodeon kid, hardcore, and it shows. It wasn't even until I was like I started watching Quiet on the Set today, and it's so nostalgic and interesting because I grew up on these shows,
Yeah, same.
like straight feed of all that in the Amanda Show. Like Amanda Bynes was my like childhood comedy idol. And it's all about how all of these young Nickelodeon actresses were abused by Dan Schneider, the showrunner, and he greatly abused his power to like give them their own shows and stuff in very disgusting ways that none of us knew about during the time. And I didn't know it was out, but it's streaming on Max, the first 4 episodes of this docuseries. So I just started it. I'm like half an hour into the first episode.
I've seen so many clips on TikTok. I'm like, I
Me
want
too.
to watch
my
it.
God.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it as well.
Yeah.
I was also a Nickelodeon kid, but like a little later.
Yeah. I was there the prime Amanda Bynes times. Like Olivia and I would constantly like just mimic Amanda Bynes.
Oh yeah.
She was amazing. And just reprocessing a lot of the different things we saw, but like didn't really think to flag as something weird for a child to be doing. Just seeing them highlight it on this, it's like, whoa, I didn't even think about that at all. Like there's clips of like Ariana Grande being like weirdly sexual as a child
with a potato.
Yes, yeah, because he told her to do these weird things, and like they're talking about like Amanda like giving him massages, like an Amanda Bynes that's like 12 years old, and like it's just like very uncomfortable and sad, but like fascinating because I didn't know about any of this. So it's
also
like very
all the
weird.
feet stuff. Like he put so much feet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
in every single Nickelodeon show,
lots
and that
of
one,
feet
like
stuff.
no one had to tell me that. Like after I did kind of like a binge watch of Victorious and like a few of the other shows that were really big when I was watching them, like iCarly, and I was like, oh my God, this is obvious. Like, why is no one saying anything?
But they're also talking about how, I mean, the Amanda Show itself was very like forward thinking for the time, because like a female comedian couldn't fight tooth and nail to get their own show at the time, but like let alone like a female child comedian getting their own show and like not being portrayed as like sexual and not being portrayed as like an innocent little girl. Like Amanda was weird as fuck and it was hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
true.
And it was a totally new thing to see a girl, you know, embracing all this like weird stuff, weird parts of themselves. And I think that's a lot of the reason also why we really loved her, because she was very personality driven, rather than like looking pretty or like being innocent and like the typical ways we see women portrayed or young girls portrayed on TV. All right. Last thing on the dock. Attached at the hip, a new novel is coming out in 2 months. It's out in 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
You guys.
No.
So exciting.
My book is coming out in 2 months. So Attached at the Hip is my new novel. It's a rom-com. I love it. It's Survivor with a romantic slant. I am very, very excited to share it with all of y'all. There will be events that I will be announcing hopefully soon. And if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, please consider pre-ordering it. It's so important to the launch. And I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you're interested in reading. If you took the time to pre-order, you can pre-order in any format. So if you like digital, you can pre-order it digital. You can pre-order the audiobook. You can pre-order, you know, it for the Kindle, anything that you use to read. And if you can't afford to pre-order, it's also super helpful to just request it at your library, request it on your online library app, add it to your TBR on Goodreads. There's links to do all this in the show notes. And yeah, I really, really appreciate your support, and it means a ton to me, and I hope to see a lot of you at the events. I'm so excited.
We're so excited for you.
Natasha and I will be there supporting you and loving you and cheering you on, like always.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to move into what right now?
Woo.
Woo. Okay. What have y'all been reading? Speaking of books.
I finally finished Hellbent, and it was amazing.
Oh, fuck.
Yes. Hellbent by Lee Bardugo.
So good. I guess there's not much you can say.
When's the next one coming?
Book. I don't know. I hope soon.
What's the first book? Do I need to put this on my TBR?
Yes, you do, Chloe.
Ninth House.
Ninth House. Mm-hmm. The audiobooks are amazing if you like the audiobooks.
Yeah.
I do like audiobooks. I'm like, I drive a lot living in California, as you guys do. Mm-hmm. So I love a good audiobook. Okay, Ninth House.
Ninth House. And the second one is Hellbent.
I'll put it on.
So fucking good. And I don't know when the third book, I don't think she's announced a release date yet, but I have the craving to reread Hellbent now that Natasha's been talking about it. What have you been reading, Chloe?
I just finished ACOTAR, like rereading ACOTAR, and I'm just about to start ACOMAF, and it's going to sync up with your chapter chat, so I'm really excited about that. I didn't love the series when I first picked it up, and I stopped after ACOMAF, so I'm excited to like continue it and like actually give it its due diligence. Yes.
Read Silver Flames.
Yes, I'm excited too. I've heard, like that's the best one. And then my next TBR is Bride, because Natasha was like, you have to read it and you have to set aside an entire day. So I have a literal entire day blocked off on my calendar to read Bride and get to the knot and like really experience it myself. So
nice.
Wait, are you going to read that after ACOMAF?
Yeah.
Are you going to wait until the
I've already started ACOMAF, so.
You've got it. You've got yourself so organized. It's amazing.
You got to. Y'all have inspired me, like, to really be on my reading game. I feel like before I started working with y'all, I wasn't on a fantasy kick anymore. Like, I feel like I was reading a lot of self-help books and like nonfiction and essay books, and I'm back, baby. It feels good. I'm back. I'm reading fantasy smut and I'm loving it.
Yes. I am still reading Iron Flame. Reading fell out of my schedule. So I just haven't been reading because I can't take long showers. And that's when I read. And I'm
Only
not even
reads in the
talking
shower.
long. Like I would
You
take.
only read in the shower?
Well, that's where I will start my reading in the night. And if I like am really enraptured by it, I'll keep going after the shower. But like that's my like I'm not distracted by anything else time. And when I say long, I mean 10 minutes. I usually take like a nice hot 10-minute shower. But now I just got my eyebrows microbladed. I'm not allowed to sweat. I'm not allowed to be in steam. So I'm taking these like quick ass 2-minute showers because I don't like to be in there if it's not very hot. And I don't like to be in, it's like my happy place has been taken away while I'm waiting for my brows to heal. I don't like not being able to read. I'm like, what do I even do in here? Wash and get out.
10 minutes a day? A lot of these books are like 7, 8 hours.
Well, this is what happens, Chloe. When it's really good, I get out, I keep reading.
Got it. Okay.
But if I'm busy and distracted, I at least get 10 minutes of reading in every day. But I haven't because I'm fucking dealing with eyebrow healings. And I'm not allowed to get my
looks so
face
good
wet.
though.
Well,
They look
thank
hot.
you. I really like them, but right now, like they're starting to fade a little bit because she said it's part of the process. That's why there's two. Like you go back again after 4 weeks, but after 4 weeks, I'm gonna have to go back again, do the second process, and then do this again where I lose my happy reading place.
Oh no. Well, then you just gotta do it real quick in between that time period.
I know.
Why? What if you listened in the car?
I
like
just
normal
don't want to
people?
listen to Iron Flame. I want to read it with my
You're
eyeballs.
gonna want to listen to it. I'm gonna
okay.
tell you that.
Oh, I wanna read it,
yeah.
though.
Where are
guys,
you?
I'm in the part where they've left Basgaith.
One more time for the people. What is it?
They left Basgaith and they went to
Nice.
Tyrannol. Tyrandor. They're in Tyrandor. So that's it. It's a big turning point. I think I'm at like the 55% mark or something. So I want to finish it. I am really enjoying it now, and I just don't have my shower time to get me into the book every night.
When Iron Flame first came out, I immediately texted both Natasha and Christine. Natasha though hadn't read Fourth Wing yet, so I started only texting Christine, and I was like, "Oh, I'm here. I finished the book in 2 days." And Christine was like, I'm like on chapter 5. I was like, okay, never mind then. I guess I just have no one to freaking talk to.
This is the
That's
problem.
fine.
I was trying to do a reading vlog, which I'm still like, I guess, attempting to do. I have a lot of footage from that first, like those first 30%. And then I didn't I did continue.
You vlog in the shower?
No. I will vlog after about my thoughts.
Oh, like your reactions.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
I have vlogged in the shower before, but
Love.
yeah. So yeah, the shot says I started when Christine started posting TikToks about Iron Flame. That's what I had.
I bet you finished 2 shots. I bet you finished a long time
also-
ago.
Everyone
Let's
is
just talk
finished.
about how I
Yeah,
finished
Natasha finished.
Fourth Wing and Iron Flame within like less than a month.
Let's talk about how neither of you were making videos about Iron Flame. Okay.
Are you making them now?
I would if I was filming footage. Like that's all I do, Chloe. All
You're
of my brain
perfect.
does
We
is
love
make
you.
videos now.
We know. It's all of us. That's all we all do.
I know, but like it's literally all I think about right now because the book's coming out.
I make videos of the two of you.
Yes, I know. I know you do. I know you do. It's like all
Your
I think
voices-
about is like, what's the next video that I could put out?
Your voices are constantly in my head, and now we're like really close friends, and I see you in person, so it's like even worse. It's just constantly
So sorry.
Christine and Natasha in my brain.
Is that a bad thing?
No, you're perfect, and I love you. But I can tell the difference. I can tell who's sighing. If I'm not watching, I can tell the difference of who's sighing or like your little noises. That's weird and personal, right? But like, it's true.
I mean,
I
it
can-
happens. You start
yeah.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All All right, let's move on to movies. I watched Poor Things and I fucking loved it. It was so good and so fascinating and so like empowering for, I feel like, a woman to watch in so many different ways. And I can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to watch it with my neighbor next week and I'm excited. I loved it. I thought all the acting was phenomenal and it looked phenomenal and I wanted it to win the best Oscar, which, by the way, the Oscars happened. They were fine. Nothing really exciting. There were no
Aside from
slaps.
Ryan Gosling.
Except for Ryan Gosling.
Except Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
who was
part.
amazing.
Iconic.
Yes.
I was turned on from the second it started.
Yes.
It was
It
amazing.
was very good. Yeah. So Ryan Gosling performed I'm Just Ken, and it was fantastic. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it on YouTube. It was
It's saved. It's bookmarked
phenomenal
on my computer. So
I know. I watched it multiple times.
I've seen it
afterward.
multiple times
Yeah.
on multiple
Yep,
platforms.
yep.
From different points of view.
Yes.
When he took the camera with him, I was like, well, I have a boner. Thanks so much.
But anyway, I highly recommend Poor Things. It's streaming on Hulu. It was great. It was long, but I didn't feel the length because it was so interesting. I really liked it. Yeah. So, did you guys watch anything? It looks like you didn't see any movies, but
No.
you saw TV.
Yes.
You watched some TV. What did you guys watch this week?
Chloe.
I have not watched any
you
TV
haven't?
or any movies.
Oh,
I have just
nothing.
been watching the two of you and myself. Oh, yeah. I don't watch TV or movies because all I'm doing is editing videos and looking at screens. But if I want something, I'll YouTube.
So, when you eat, do you watch YouTube or do you watch a show? Or neither?
I work.
You work while you eat? That's my only break time. Wait, you have
Yeah.
to. You don't take a break while you're eating?
I kind of don't usually take breaks
Oh my god.
at all unless I'm going to a workout class or I'm going out to meet friends. I'm going to work until my social outing.
I guess you
tonight.
probably have more social outings because you're more extroverted.
Yeah, I do something pretty much every day.
Okay, that's good.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, since I don't, my time is my eating. All right. Well, I watched the Love is Blind reunion, best reunion they've ever done.
Yes.
They pressed so hard on all of the scandals, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I was so entertained. Natasha, what was your favorite part?
What's his face? Trevor?
Trevor.
Being
Trevor.
like, can I leave? Like, bitch.
Trevor is the one that literally came on the show with a girlfriend he was in love with saying that, I can't wait to come back and marry you after this. And they read out the text messages between him and his girlfriend before and after the show because he's ghosted her. So she got mad and posted all these text
He
messages.
ghosted his girlfriend?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
before
so
the
I'm
show
not
aired.
I'm not in lib is that how
Yeah.
you say it?
Yes.
Love
I'm
is
not
blind.
in lib
Yeah.
lore, but oh my god, that is so fucked up.
Yeah.
I hate when
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so
and apparently it wasn't his girlfriend, but yet he
Well,
told
no.
her.
This is what he said. He comes on there he's basically dying on camera because he must have been in his contract that he had to show up there or they would sue him or something. And he had to be there at the reunion and he's just not talking. They're like, Trevor, what do you have to say about this? Nothing. And he's like, oh, I had something I was going to say, but it's kind of gone. But I never technically said that we were girlfriend boyfriend. And they were like,
It was
you
so
said you
awkward.
loved her and wanted to marry her in the text.
And then he's like,
we're casual though. We haven't defined anything. I might want to marry her someday, but this is still, on the DL. We can still talk to other people, but definitely still want to marry her. What goes on in men's fucking
Seriously.
brains? Is it casual now? Are we casual? Fuck that.
Literally ridiculous. It was such absolute bullshit.
Shot
And
said, a casual marriage, as they say.
yeah. So he literally couldn't say anything. He was like, yeah, what do I say? I'm toxic. I need therapy.
These people all need therapy. From
my
the little
God.
clips I've seen, they all so desperately need therapy.
Yes.
They need wellness retreats. They need a shrink. Like they need all of
Yeah.
it.
So
It was
Sophie was like,
hard to watch.
The Bachelor could never. This was so good.
Yeah.
He just went into a deep place in his head. Men, when someone confronts them, like,
Yep.
ugh.
Literally, I've seen men do this in my life many a time when
Yes.
someone says something
Yup.
that they've done wrong and they're just like,
Yep.
crickets.
And they have to be silent. They have to be silent to really take it in. I'm like, okay,
But they just really
Cool.
have nothing to say.
you have nothing to say. Yeah.
Because you caught them. But yeah, I'm watching Survivor. Season 46 has started. We are on episode 4 this week. And then even more exciting, actually, for me every week has been Deal or No Deal Island, because
What?
my bae, Boston Rob, Survivor King, mobster of the Survivor world, is on Deal or No Deal Island. And I love him.
Is
and
this the Deal or No Deal, like with the suitcases?
So this is, so they've twisted it into Deal or No Deal Island. So what happens every week, they have a bunch of people there. Boston Rob is like the biggest name there, though. And Boston Rob is so good at challenges and he's so smart. And I love watching him play. And he's on this island with people who don't really like exactly all know Boston Rob. Like a couple of them know his reputation from Survivor, but like not all of them. And
You just went to a place that was
Chloe was
crazy.
I went to a Boston Rob place. Anyway, so every week there's a challenge, and like the challenge gets you the cases, like different amount cases, and you want to get the highest amount. And if you get the highest amount case, then you get to pick who faces the dealer, the banker that night. And then they have to play Deal or No Deal. And if they get a bad deal, like less than what's in their case from the banker, they're eliminated. And if they get a better deal, they get to pick someone to be eliminated from the island. So it's really fun. And I don't know if I'll keep watching if Boston Rob gets out, but like I am having the best time watching Boston Rob play a game on an island for money.
Survivor lore is so freaking deep. It is so deep. There's so much.
yeah,
It's
I can't
crazy.
possibly.
If you want to get to know Boston Rob,
Oh, no.
you can watch season 7 of Survivor, and then watch season 20 of Survivor, and then watch season 22, and
Okay,
then
thank
watch
you.
season 40. Sorry.
Thank you. You can cut this part out, but you should really slide into Micah's DMs about Survivor, because you're both like obsessed with it, and is cuckoo.
Cuckoo
Like,
banana.
they're both
I watch
obsessed.
Survivor.
Micah loves Survivor. This man, like, Survivor is like how his schedule revolves around Survivor. So I don't know. I feel like that could be fun for you and him. So
All right, Christine, we need a Survivor watch list. Oh yeah, so I'm planning on doing a TikTok where I like give out a Survivor watch list after finishing my arc for Attached to Hip. I really want to watch, but I'm so overwhelmed. Okay, so I've made a list in like one of my videos back in the day. Not back in the day, in like 2020 when I was writing the book. When I was starting to outline the book. But I am gonna make a TikTok with my list so that like now as the book is coming out, if people want to watch, they have my starter list. Yes, Katie, you have to watch the old ones now, and I will give the list. Maybe I'll make it this week. I'll make it this week so that comes out soon.
put it on the to-do list.
It's on the to-do list. Okay.
We'll make a cutie little graphic for people.
Oh yeah. Speaking of reality TV show, this week while I was sick, I watched The Golden Bachelor.
Yes.
So I
was
have taken quite a few years of a break for The Bachelor, and I missed it. One, I got back on Joey's season, which he's like the current Bachelor right now that's airing, and he's so cute. He looks like a little
so
Greek
cute
god boy.
and so sweet.
Yeah.
He's such a golden retriever. Like, he's the perfect person to get back in. He's also how I got back in.
Yes. I'm like, he's hot. I'll watch him. Sure. And so then like afterwards it kept playing The Golden Bachelor, and I like resisted The Golden Bachelor because it looked sad. And I was right. It is sad.
It is sad.
There's people who have been through so much in life. Like, they're all 60, 70, and especially like Gary, who is the Golden Bachelor. He lost his wife, and he tells a story at the very beginning, and I just sobbed. Like, I was so glad I was home alone.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that, but it was so good. Like, all the women were just top tier. They're all girls. They just got along so well, and it's just a very different dynamic. And he was so emotional, and just every decision he made, like, he was crying at rose ceremonies, like, just the sweetest old man ever. I did not like who we picked in the end.
I got a text from Natasha and I knew it was going to happen. I was actually like bracing myself for this text because I knew who like she liked and who she didn't like. And when she texted me, this isn't a spoiler. It's been out forever. It's all over. It's online, right? I can say who it is.
No, I don't know.
No, I shouldn't say who it is.
I didn't know.
Okay, well, whatever. The person that won, Natasha and I both don't like her that much.
No.
And Natasha texted me before she found out officially, and she was mad. It was all caps. Oh my God, does Gary pick this person? Ah! I was like, eek. And I was like, no spoilers. But in my head, I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I was kind of mad. Yeah, I did not like her. But you know what? They're both very fucking goofy, so I think that they deserve each other. Not that anything like, it was just like the way that he just told 3 women that he loved them, and
That part made me feel a little icky. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, and like every single one of those women believed that they were the one.
Oh.
Yep.
And then he broke their
really
heart.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the person who came in second. Like, I loved her. I wanted her to win.
Well, they still have the Golden Bachelorette, and they haven't chosen.
If they don't choose her, I'm throwing hands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak to those producers. They're gonna have a piece of my mind.
Katie said her next door neighbor was on the Golden Bachelor, but she was eliminated the
Wow.
first night.
That's cool. That's very cool.
All right,
y'all.
moving on.
Did you have something else? I was going to move us on. Are you done, Natasha?
Yeah, I watched Masters of the Air on Apple TV. It was good.
It was good.
Alex wanted to
Fab.
watch it. I wouldn't have watched it if Alex didn't want to watch it. But it's from the creators of Band of Brothers, and Band of Brothers is really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that they were able to capture like the same type of magic in this show. Like, it felt too, like, it didn't feel like a brotherhood. Okay, those are my thoughts.
Okay. Well, we are going to move into our main discussion. 50 minutes in, we're going to start talking about Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Woo!
Okay, but before we do, we are going to thank our listeners for a second. We love all of you listening out there. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you're not already, we'd really appreciate it if you followed the show for free in your favorite podcast listening app. And if you like the visual version of the show, you could subscribe for free on our YouTube, youtube.com/@those4kingfangirls. And you'll get the show for free every week over there, so you never miss an episode. If you don't know, we are a viewer-supported show. So we have a Patreon with lots of different perks. Our $5 tier is called Team Jacob, and with that you get the show ad-free every week, plus you get Fangirl Tea Time, which is our half an hour extra show where we talk about more personal stories and things going on in our lives that's attached to the main show every single week. If you are a patron, and we love our community over there, we have 2 other tiers with lots of other great perks. You can check those out in the show notes. It is patreon.com/those4kingfangirls. And we have a free trial right now where you can become a Team Jacob member for 7 days for free. Try it out. See if you like it before you commit. And if you want to save some money, if you want to subscribe annually instead of month to month, you save about 16%, which is about a month and a half worth of Patreon subscription. Thank you all so much for being a part of our community. We love y'all.
Thank y'all. We love you.
We love you.
All right, we'll be back after these messages. And And we're back after those messages to talk about Avatar. All right. So I want to kick this off with our like Avatar discovery stories because I love hearing people's fandom discovery stories. And we're all different level fans. So I want to kick this off with Chloe because you're obviously the biggest fan here. How did you find Avatar? What is your story like here?
So I watched this series when I was little, like a lot of people around my age. And that was when it first came out. But I really got into it. And I think this is a lot of people during COVID. Like it got re-released. Yeah, exactly. It got re-released on Netflix. And I was like, done. I'm watching this. And then I don't know if y'all do this, but like I hyper obsess. Like the second I knew this was something I was super into, I got all the books, like all the comics, and I got the Kyoshi novels, and I became deep in Avatar YouTube, which is a really big community. And like I have like Avatar influencers I absolutely love. But yeah, now it's my go-to comfort show, and I feel like I'm always watching it, sort of in the way that like Christine, you're always watching Friends, or like Natasha's always watching Gilmore Girls. Like I'm always watching it. Like it's just my go-to, and I always have it on the background. So I don't necessarily like need to pay attention to it, but it is like it's a comfort show for me, and it was there for me when I was like the most down I've ever been and the most alone I've ever been, and it just the story is amazing, and I don't know, I think I would be a different person if I didn't watch it and love it as much as I do. Dramatic, but true.
No, I feel like a lot of people like right around your age range have that same relationship with it, where it's like their go-to comfort show that's on all the time, and was a huge part of their growing up journey. And I being a little like 10 years older, I kind of hit it at a different wave, and I think Natasha did too. It wasn't like on Nickelodeon when we were watching.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, did you have people in your life who were watching it, or did you just have like you just saw it one day, you're like, oh, I'll put it on?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Chloe, sorry.
I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I watched this when I was little. Like, let me watch it again. And then became super obsessed. And I have made every single ex-boyfriend I've ever had watch it with me in length. And I have sat there and told them every single theory I have about every single episode.
So when did you read the book?
During COVID.
Okay.
Yeah,
in
2020. So the Kyoshi novels are incredible. They're about the Avatar Kyoshi and her story. She's an earthbender. And then the comics actually fill in a lot of the time after. I've also watched Legend of Korra for sure. I'm not as into it as I am into Avatar. I think that's the case for a lot of people. But yeah, the comics really add to the lore. You find out about Zuko and Azula's mom. You find out about their adventures. And it kind of also fills in the moments that we don't see that aren't in the TV shows. So I can see them right here. I like have all of them right next to me, but it's super fun. They're super easy to read, obviously. And I just like love all the lore and the extended universe. It's big. And Avatar Studios is growing even more, like beyond the live action. There's a movie confirmed, about an earthbending Avatar, I'm pretty sure, and there's some more stuff in the works. So like it is, coming back. There's like definitely a big resurgence, and I'm thrilled about it. It for me is like up there with Harry Potter in terms of how much it means to me. But yeah, the comics add to it a lot for sure. But the TV show is pretty perfect, the animated one.
Yeah. I have a similar, like during COVID time is when I watched Avatar. So right before I watched it, my dog growing up passed away. And like the shows I watched right after, I feel like were like, that's how I kind of like processed my dog passing. And like, it feels so weird talking about it like this, but like I got so upset and anxious after that. And I wasn't expecting to,
of course.
And I got like so attached to Avatar like because of Appa. I like just like fell in love with
Yes.
Appa, and like he became my dog, and I had a very like emotional time watching Appa's journey through Avatar.
Oh.
I loved that Appa episode. I like just cried my way through that episode where Appa is like trying to find his way home, I think. But this is the thing. I've only seen
The
the
Lost
show.
Days of Appa.
Yeah,
So sad.
I've only seen the show one time through, you know? So like we're trying to talk about our favorite episodes, and they've kind of like blended because I watched it during
Oh, yeah.
the COVID. And I had such a great time. I remember in the first season I wasn't like totally sold on it because it does feel a little less interconnected in the first season. Like it's very episodic.
A little more childish
Yeah.
in the first season,
And
I'd
then the
argue.
second season is phenomenal, and the third season is phenomenal. Like I could not stop watching. Once we hit like mid-second season, I was obsessed with like what's going to happen, the dynamics between the different characters, and so like because I have like so much like emotional Chandler feelings attached to Appa. When I started watching the live action, and it's been like 4 years now, it like all came. I cried like 100 times watching that first episode.
Me too.
Appa is so perfect.
Oh my God. No, they did Appa so well. They did Appa and Momo, both of the like
Yes.
companion
Yeah.
creatures, so well. And
Yes.
you're so attached to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They look so cute and fluffy, and like in the movie adaptation that was terrible. Like Appa looks like a weird alien. Like it was so nice to see Appa looking like Appa.
I still haven't seen the like movie adaptation because I just
Don't watch.
well, I
Oh,
know.
it's bad. Don't ever
Yeah,
watch
I
it.
only
know
got 10
that.
minutes in, Natasha. I stopped watching.
Oh. Appa.
Christine, you need to
Oh,
get. So, for those not watching, I'm holding up an Appa pillow pet, and I sleep with this every single night.
Oh.
I'm gonna buy you one, Christine. I'm
Okay.
gonna send you one. Yeah, because it's so comfy
Oh, he's so
and
cute.
so perfect.
Yeah, I have
I
him on
know.
my shirt. I have 2 Appa shirts. I have another one with a small, tiny Appa on it that I really like.
And the fact that like you choose your sky bison. So Natasha, I'm not sure if this is in the live action, but every airbender chooses their sky bison for life. They're like together for life, and they're bonded for life. So they choose each other when they're little, and they like grow up together, and they train together, and like it's so freaking cute, and they're just so connected spiritually. Like that's another big thing. And it's just it's so beautiful to watch.
I almost named Bellamy Appa, but this is the thing. Like, he doesn't look like Appa at all.
Yeah.
But I really like wanted to name mine, like, because I was getting a new dog, and I was like, I want to name Appa, but then like Appa's so attached to my old dog. But I don't know if I've talked about this on this podcast, but I was gonna get a different dog. Like I had put a deposit down on like a multi-poo, and then on one of the like different dog groups that I was like in on Facebook, 'cause that's how I was trying to find a dog that was hypoallergenic during COVID, because they were going like mad.
Yeah.
I found Bellamy was posted as the last one of a litter that nobody had wanted, and he was born on the day that Chandler was born. Like they have the same birthday, and
No way.
yeah,
I
and
forgot
this was like
about
right after Chandler had passed, and I was like, wait, this dog is my dog, and it does not look like Appa.
That's so sweet. Also, this is news, but I met Bellamy this past weekend, and I held Bellamy. And fun fact, like I've never held a dog before because I didn't grow up with dogs. So
And you're
Bellamy was the
allergic.
first time and I'm allergic, but I'm not allergic to Bellamy.
Bellamy's
But like
hypoallergenic.
I held Bellamy, and it was a beautiful moment. And I was scared, and Bellamy was also scared.
I needed to take a picture real quick, and we were upstairs with Chloe was the only person up there, and Bellamy wasn't allowed to like stand on the ground up there, and there's cameras everywhere. So I was like, can you hold him? And I just gave him to her without really waiting for an answer. And she's like, I've never held a dog.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It went well. It went well.
Well, yeah. When we
No, we're bonded.
When we recorded at my house, she started developing hives.
Yeah, I am really allergic to Nico, but it's okay. I also, next time I need to like bring medication. I was just raw dogging it, literally.
I forgot that I have a very shedding animal.
Yeah, but like if I'm around Nico for like 30 minutes, I'm fine. It's just I was there all day.
Yeah.
But all good.
Yeah. All right. Where were we? Oh, Natasha, your story of Avatar.
Yeah, I still am very interested because I just am getting into it. Like I think I've asked Alex this, but like how, like where did the show come from? Like is it technically anime, and like was it made
I don't think it's
for the
technically anime because it's not the same style. It's like more cartoony. It's like a middle ground.
People, I think it's like a big debate online. Yeah. I think technically it can be considered an anime, but it's, I'd argue it's more like an animated show.
Like, was it made for American audiences first, or was it made for like, Japanese audiences?
It was made for American audiences first, but it does do some stereotypical anime things. So it's kind of like a combo. Yeah, Katie in the chat said a gateway anime for sure, and I think that's true.
So what was like, so it was just a show that they created. Like, did it stem, I know there's books, but is it an adaptation of books or comics?
I think it started as a TV show and the comics came afterwards. The creators, oh my gosh, what are their names? It's like Michael and Daniel, David. 1 second.
Brian, Katie says.
Yes. Michael and Brian, they created it together and created this whole world together. And they were originally a part of the live action as well, but they actually left, which, you know, I'll touch on that later. Yeah, I'll touch on that a little bit later. But I do think that they created it all themselves. And then the comics and the novels and the world building came later. And then Legend of Korra, like the rumor online is that it's not as good because they didn't storyboard it as much as they storyboarded Avatar. And like they spent way less time on it and developing it.
Legend of Korra was super disappointing for me after binging the regular cartoon because I was excited to see what happens next, and then everyone's dead because they fast forward like 100 years, and like the only one around is Katora, and she's like a super old lady,
right? Which is why the comics like kind of give you a little bit of time.
Well, they're making a series now that covers like the middle adulthood, which I'm excited about because I really wanted to see that because like all the romances were like starting to bud and be together, and I was like, I want to see their lives together. It's like when you have the friends to lovers and it takes the whole time and then they get together and
oh my god, yes, it's true. You were talking about how you hated that the other day.
Yes. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to see them as adults with kids, and then nothing. I was like, and Korra also in general, like the pacing is much faster, much less character driven. It just feels a lot more rushed, and the story tries to be really big, but we don't get as many details, so it's like very quick.
Yeah. And each season feels like its own thing. Like it's not the story like doesn't connect as much as it should, in my opinion.
I only got to the first season. I know I heard like the third or fourth is great, but the second one sucks. And I was like, I don't want to watch another season of this, especially if people don't like it.
So, speaking of Legends of Korra, that's how Alex tried to bring me into the show because they were older, and
they had like a little romance.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, you'll like this, and I'm like, okay.
It's not in depth enough.
I love Alex, and I do think he really tries, but I think he keeps pulling me in with the wrong type of media.
Yeah. Well, John tried to do the same. He was like, well, you might like it because there's more romance. I was like, this is one episode and nothing happened with them.
So I did push it away for so long. Alex watched it during COVID, just like Christine. And I think I remember him just like binge watching it. And I was working or doing something on my desk over here as he watched it, and I was just in the room where it happened. But I just was like, I just didn't get it, and for a long time, and I did obviously recently watch the the live action, and I really enjoyed it, and I think I just got kind of like a taste of everything in that, and I want to go back in and actually watch it, because I've had now like multiple experiences where I have enjoyed an anime type of show, and I know that there's stuff out there for me that I would really like, and especially if I have Chloe and Christine who also
I will come over and binge watch the animated series with you, and I will come armed with Zyrtec, and I will bring snacks.
Wait,
and
I want to cuddle. Let's have a party.
And
I want to
Christine
rewatch
can
it.
And we can all puddle.
But like, let's start with season 2. So Natasha watched the first season.
Okay, I'll
I'll watch season 1 with you, and then Christine can come in for season 2. I'll be near you on Thursday. So.
I want to get to the overarching stuff. But I do love the last episodes of season 1, so I'll come in there.
True.
They're so good.
Okay.
This is okay. Connecting it to the live action show, they did not do justice to those final episodes. I feel in the water. Bending
Should we
place.
Should we get into it? Should we?
Yeah. Wait.
Should we do
Natasha,
overall thoughts?
have we heard your whole story? Do you have more
Yeah,
to
I
add?
mean, like, I just pushed it away for so long, and then I did.
Yeah.
Because I kind of made the decision in my head where I was like, I'm not going to watch it. Like, I know, like, you're not going to get me into it until I watch the live action.
Yeah.
So that I can make up my mind where I can have more of a bite-sized piece of it instead of watching a very, very long show.
I think it'll be so cool to see what you think watching the live action first and
Yeah.
then the animated series. Like, that is going to be really intriguing to me. I want to see which one you like better and like which characters you connect with in the live action versus
First.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I think that would be very interesting.
Oh, I'm excited. Ooh, I
You know
just got
what's
little
wild?
like turned on by that.
I like after watching the live action, I went back and like just watched like a little clip of the cartoon, and it like the live action even had like warped some of my visions of the people in the cartoon because I've only seen it once. So I was easily like recalibrated. It was weird.
I agree with you. I had to like go back and be like, wait, was this what I thought it was?
Yeah. All right. So let's quickly talk about the character we connected with most in general. Because mine was Sokka, and I would say Sokka on both accounts. I feel like I fell in love with him watching the animated series. Like, he's so funny, and his humor is like so silly a lot of the time, and he's got like those oldest child, like, I'm responsible for you vibes. And, like,
I can see you as a Sokka. Yeah.
and
Me
yeah.
too. You're 100% Asaka.
When I did this with my siblings for like the sibling tag, it was like, which character from Avatar The Last Airbender are you? And me and Paul were both like, Sokka. And he's like, you can't be Sokka, I'm Sokka. And I was like, Paul?
Well, I guess Paul has kind of like the
He
little
does.
one-liners that Sokka has.
Yeah, he does. But like, I get like so I let him have Sokka, and he's like, you be Kotora. And I was like, just because she's a girl?
I was about to say you are way more Asaka than you are Katara. Like,
Yeah.
way more Sokka than you are Katara.
So what about y'all?
Chloe, you want to go? I'm pulling up Avatar characters so that I can see them and know.
Okay, the one you put, though, I feel like is really accurate.
Okay, so I did say that I'm Uncle Iroh, right? Is it Iroh?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Um, For the reasons that he is a wise parent figure and I parent everyone. He also loves food, and I also love food.
I forgot about that.
And he's a little unhinged.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And also, like, he was my favorite character watching the live action. I just loved him.
Yes!
Like, he just
Yeah,
kind of
he's
brought
He's
everything.
so good.
He brought everything like
Compassionate.
down to earth, and he's very passionate and like really like guiding Zuko along the way, and like giving him different options too, of like, you know, you could do this, but there's also this, like there's not just this way. Yeah, and he is very
He's gone
chill.
through like immense grief and like come out.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're so Iroh. I
Yeah.
love you so much. I feel like you're Iroh with like a sprinkle of Katara, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iroh with like, Iroh, you're Iroh sun, Katara moon. Yeah,
Iroh
Katara moon.
rising.
Iroh rising. Yeah, double Iroh in her signs for sure.
Iroh is such a great character, and I love him so much in the cartoon version.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see more of him.
They're both like, Iroh's up there. He probably might be like my third favorite
Honestly,
character.
I feel like Iroh and Zuko were the backbone of the live action. Like they really were the heart of the show, and
They
what
held it
kept you
down.
emotionally invested throughout the whole thing. Yeah.
100%.
What
I
about you,
think
Chloe?
this is chaotic, but of course it is, because I am. I think I'm probably a little like Azula Suki combo. If we're so real, if we're so honest, I think they both are really fierce, capable, strong, ambitious women, and they're leaders. And they go after what they want, and they both have killer style. And like,
Azula is like a
I feel
psychopath.
like I kind of Well, so she's a psychopath in the animated
Yes.
series for sure. Like
Not
I
so
think
much
that
getting that in the live.
not so much in the live action. I actually really like, and we'll talk about it when we get to a different section, but like I really liked the changes they made with her. I just think that like I'm a badass woman, and I've like overcome a lot from a young age, and I think Azula and Suki have both done that.
For sure.
And they're both hot, and I'm hot.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I
I
mean, do
can
you not
definitely see
agree?
We
I can
agree.
definitely see that for sure. I mean, the Azula part does concern me because she scared me in the animated.
But like no, like Chloe's got that
But
like
I know
like
what you're
chaotic
saying.
like
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. You know, I see my sister as Azula in the scary way.
Oh, okay, got it. I feel like I'm Azula when she is with Tylee and May. Like I feel
Yeah, when
like
she's with her friends.
Yeah. I'm definitely still chaotic and unhinged. But just a little, like I said, a combo. Like I'm probably more Suki than I am Azula. Because Suki has this beautiful, beautiful line in the animated series that said, and she says, I am a warrior, but I'm also a lady too. And that was the first time that I saw representation that I absolutely loved when it came to a woman. Like genuinely the first time, because
Mulan.
she was strong. Mulan's a really good one, actually, and I probably saw Mulan first. But the idea that someone can be fierce and strong and powerful and feminine and girly and a woman and like want to fall in love, all those things can exist at once. And I feel like a lot of media is like, nope, you're either a warrior or you're like the love story, the ingenue, and Suki's both. And I'm obsessed with that.
I love that too. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so, and just to get past the bender thing, what kind of benders are y'all?
Water.
Air.
Fire. Wait, does that align with our signs, our
Mine
zodiac signs
doesn't.
too?
No.
Oh no.
I don't think there are are there air signs and astrological signs?
Yeah. What?
Are there?
No,
I don't think there's an
No.
air sign.
it's just earth, fire.
Is there air?
Wait, I think there is air.
There's gotta
Wait,
be air. We just
hello?
don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure there's
Gemini is
air.
so
Wait,
we
Gemini.
said-
Yeah.
I was like,
Wait.
wait. I've never.
No,
heard
you're
people
a
talk
Leo.
about air.
Wait, you're
I'm a
you're
Leo, so I'm a fire
which
sign.
is fire. We're both fire.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
water.
Natasha's water.
Yeah, but when it comes to bending, I look at it kind of differently because it's not your it's not I don't know. It's different to me. I like feel like a distinction in my head between like astrological signs and like your element that you could wield.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No. They're different. I just think for me, it's the same.
They match up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she's fire, period. She's a pyro. We get it. It's cool.
Yeah. Like flying is so fascinating to me, and like lightheartedness and like not taking yourself so seriously, and that's like a lot of
You're a
airbending
goofball.
things.
You're
Yeah.
totally an airbender. You're honestly, can I be so for real? You're kind of like Monk Gyatso too.
Who's
You're like
that?
a Sokka and Monk Gyatso. Monk Gyatso is
that?
Aang's like mentor.
Oh, the guy who dies?
Yes. But like, I'm speaking specifically of like, we get a lot more in the animated series, but he's such a goofball in the animated series, and he like is the reason Aang is like, he
I don't
does
remember him
pranks.
enough.
Yeah, he does pranks with Aang and like reminds Aang to be silly and be a kid and celebrate his inner child, and like that's absolutely like what you do. You inspire others to celebrate their silliness, and you always like, I don't know, inspire me to be more out there and like show up as my full self. And I think Monk Gyatso
so
does
nice.
that too.
Thank
You're welcome.
Katie says there are theories that Momo is him reincarnated.
Yes, there
Whoa.
is, and I love it.
Whoa.
I love when we attach things to Momo, because like at the end of the day, he's
Just there.
he's like he's a flying lemur. Like at the end of the day,
There was a
But-
very, speaking of Momo, there was a very unsettling depiction of him where like you really thought he was dead in the live
Yeah.
action, and he was just
Okay.
like limp.
yeah.
I was like, no.
That happen in the cartoon?
No,
I was
no.
like, this does not happen.
No, it doesn't happen in the cartoon. And I think that the reason they did that is to make it so that Sokka, like, you see that Sokka has grown to love and care for Momo, even though
Yeah.
in the beginning he's like, you're basically meat.
Yeah.
Like, we should have just fried you,
Yeah.
filleted you. But it's a really beautiful moment. I actually like it as an ad because it just, yes, it's really like scary, and like him going limp is terrifying, but I thought it was a pretty beautiful moment between Sokka and Momo, and showed just how much like Momo and Appa mean to Team
the
Avatar.
crew. Yeah. Okay, speaking of, now we're going into the show. Let's talk about like our overall thoughts on the live action. Now, Chloe, you're talking about Momo. Do you want to talk about your overall thoughts? Go into that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts, so many feelings. Like I said, this was a big deal for me. Since it got announced, I've been like basically gobbling every bit of news, every like scrap. I've analyzed photos, like behind the scene. Like, I was deep, and I still am. It wasn't perfect. I never expected it to be perfect, but I loved it for what it was. And I went in with the view that it was never going to be the original show, and I was never going to love it as much as that show, because there's so much nostalgia tied to it, and there is so much love for that show that just can't be replicated. So I went in with a clear head and like solid expectations, which I thought was the right way. I feel like a lot of my friends went in and they were like, it has to be perfect, otherwise it's awful. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go in like that. They wanted this live action to appeal to a wider audience, and also they were thinking of the fact that everyone that watched Avatar The Last Airbender as a kid is now an adult, right? So they wanted to make it more adult, they wanted to make it more serious, and they wanted to make it for a broader age range, and I think they succeeded. I was nervous, I think the most when, and you mentioned this, Christine, but when Michael and Brian left. The original creators were originally signed on to the live action, and then after filming, I believe, they left. So they left during post-production, I'm pretty sure. And that is scary because they created something we loved so much, but in hindsight, you could feel the love in this series. You could feel its soul. Clearly, original Atla fans wrote, produced, and were in this series. Like, you could feel it. They were clearly in the room, and it felt like fans made it. And that's all that I could ask for at the end of the day, is that people that love the original work also made this.
Yeah, I agree. Natasha, how did you feel as someone coming into it with no basis of what to expect?
I mean, so at first I was like trying to come at it with like a clear and open mind, and because there's a lot of things in there that are very nuanced, and there's a style and a humor that I didn't necessarily understand at first. But like overall, I really enjoyed it. I got sucked in, I think, at like episode 6 or 7, and also like episode 2 was so good. Which but I think there were some points where like I did get like a little bit of cringe. I'm like, oh, I don't know, because like there's definitely like references that I don't understand because I haven't seen the animated version, and but I thought it was like a beautiful show, and the heart of it, like had Chloe said, like it was there and I could feel it. But yeah, sometimes I got taken out because I was like, I don't know if they're trying to go camp or if they're trying to capture what the animated show did as far as like some of the acting choices and maybe some of like the director choices, as far, or like the dialogue, because some of those things I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know if that would have worked. Like I can see how it works in animated.
No, the writing was bad. Like
okay.
it was.
It's like,
the writing was bad, and the dialogue,
clunky.
It got super clunky.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue, I was like, people don't talk like this. Like, what are we doing right now?
It felt like at times they were trying to mimic the cartoon delivery, but it's different.
Yeah,
it's a different vibe than when you're talking in live.
Yep. I thought the only person that did it in a way that was believable was Sokka, but I really don't want to fault the actors at all. I really think it was the script they were given, and they did the best with the script that they were given. Like Gordon, Katie's in the chat talking about Gordon and how he was perfect Aang. I agree. Like I don't think that anyone could have done better. I think the issue was, unfortunately, the script.
Yeah. And I think just like the directing style in terms of how he delivered it sometimes, like I could feel sometimes the script. And
I could feel the
other
script.
At other times I felt like he was like the perfect Aang like vibes, and then sometimes I could feel the script coming out of his mouth. So I feel like that comes down, he's a kid, so he's learning, and it really comes down to the director and how he's or she is, you know, trying to bring the script out of him. And it's hard when the writing's a little iffy for live in terms of like
there were 4 different directors, so like they each had 2 episodes, and I think Alex and I really saw the difference, I think for Roseanne Ling.
That's so interesting. I need to go back and pay attention to that.
So which episode?
Those were episodes, I think 5 and 6. Yeah, so that 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Or I can't.
Oh wow.
Sorry. So like Alex was like, he's like, why is this, like he looked it up, and I think there were episodes 2 and 3, and he's like, 3 and 4. He's like, why is this, like, I don't know, I don't really love these episodes, and he looked it up, and there were different directors for each of them. Yeah. So you could really feel it. That. And it's they do the same thing for like the Disney Plus shows. Like when we know that there's a good episode, it's usually Bryce Dallas Howard who's directing The Mandalorian. And
interesting.
Yeah, and you can tell. So
I wonder if maybe they'll try to keep less. Maybe they'll have less directors for book 2 and book 3, which have already been greenlit. Thank God.
Oh, they have. Oh,
yep, it's official. It was actually really cute. Ozai, the actor for Ozai, he did like a Zoom call with all of the main characters and faked them out and said, you know, like, this was a really special
oh my God, that's so
TV
mean.
show. I loved doing this with all of you, and like it's such a bummer that we haven't been greenlit for season 2, but I love all of you, and it's an honor to share that we've actually been greenlit for season 2 and 3, and the whiplash he gave these actors was insane. It was so funny. But yeah, and book 2 and book 3 are coming. Yes,
that's
and mean.
Amazing.
But he posted on his Instagram and he was like, I'm sorry they made me do it, like as Ozai.
Yeah, I feel like the cast has so much potential together
Yes.
to grow into
I
like these
love the
roles
cast.
and really
I
find
really
a groove
do.
together. And I think this season was a lot of like finding the groove of the characters live, you know, in terms of the transition between being cartoon and live. And I think because like a lot of the times they were mimicking the cartoon characters, and you have to like feel that out and see like what works in person
Yeah.
and what doesn't. And
I think it'll just get better and better and better,
Yeah.
especially as they get older. And
yes,
with Gordon
and
too,
grow
like
into acting. Yeah,
he was 11 when he got cast, and I'm 12 during the majority of the shoot. I'm pretty sure, like he's young. Like when you think about Daniel Radcliffe, who did this,
yes.
like he got so much better. I will say the kid who played Percy Jackson, I thought was like no notes pretty much. He was so good.
He was great. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they'll get even better. Their chemistry will get even better. They're all such close friends. Like I follow all of them on Instagram. Again, like this is my Roman Empire and it's so important to me. But they're all like so close and they're all so supportive. And there was a lot of controversy in casting for this show. Like a lot of people had a lot to say, which is true when anything becomes adapted or anything's redone. But the cast is so supportive of each other because of that. Like they flood each other's comments with like, love you so much, you're the perfect Aang, or you're the perfect May. Like it's so sweet. I love
really
it.
Sweet. I love that, and I have to go follow them now. But
yes, it's fun. Avatar Netflix actually is such a good follow. Like genuinely.
They've been recommended to me, and I'm like, wow, these are really great videos. Like,
it's
suggested. Yeah,
so fun. It's so fun to watch.
It's kind of giving like the Shadow and Bone cast because they were all best friends.
Yeah.
They had such great chemistry together.
So sad about them.
In terms of my initial thoughts here, I definitely felt the director shift because the first 2 episodes were directed so fucking well. Like I really loved the way they were shot and put together. And there was a stark change for me in how I felt watching episodes 3 and 4. And it started out so strong, and then the pacing got weird in the next 2 episodes. Like I still enjoyed them, but like for the rest of the series, honestly, I feel like the pacing was like a little up and down and a little wonky and clunky. And I really thought that the first episode was a perfect introduction to all of our characters. I thought like Aang's little monologues in the first episodes, like that director knew what he was doing. I was crying listening to him talk.
I actually struggled with those because I felt like I felt like he was explaining how he felt, which I don't love.
There were some unnecessary.
Didn't understand the genocide the way that I did watching the live.
I agree with you. Well, I mean, I think that was a huge part of it for them. They wanted you to see the air nomad genocide.
Yeah, and I think that's what was really emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that change.
Yeah.
I
love that change too. Because
what
you
was
kind
the
of
change?
like see it in retrospect. So you don't
No, go ahead.
So you don't see the genocide in the cartoon. Like you don't see the Fire Nation attack, and you don't really understand it because you're coming out of it from a much more childlike perspective. And like Aang learns about like how they were all wiped out, but you don't really know why. Like you don't know the Fire Lord like trying to take over the world and trying to eliminate any possible threats, and how he like took out a whole race of people because he didn't want the Avatar to come out of them. Like it was
such an intense opening. Like it was such an intense opening. It definitely set a different tone. Like it was very much like, this is not your mother's Avatar. Like, you know, like they wanted it to be serious and intense and definitely more adult. And they did that by opening it that way.
Yeah. It was very effective for me, like watching it. I was like, oh, fuck. Because you kind of get distracted by the rest of the story by the time you really understand it in the cartoon. Like, and this was like a stark contrast in the emotional feeling you have at the start of
I
the
was
series.
definitely very emotional because Alex kind of set it up for me where he told me, he's like, because I had no idea. I had no idea it was 100 years in the future. And he told me before we had found out as an audience watching it. And he's like, mind you, this is like 100 years before. And then I kind of wish he didn't, because I wish I would have had that like authentic emotional response.
Yeah.
But I still was like, oh my God. Like I felt so bad for Aang. And I just like watching him. But I do feel like there was a lot of that, him speaking what he was feeling instead of like it showing on his face.
Yeah.
I thought at the beginning, at least, the exposition like was heavy in the first couple episodes, and I think they needed to do that for the pacing.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think that opening with the Air Nomad genocide was immediately super emotional.
Yeah.
I also loved the beginning, the diversion, like telling the airbenders. That was a really beautiful ad as well. I think one thing that really kind of shocked me is we know that firebenders during the Air Nomad genocide are stronger than they ever are. The comet comes and they're able to pull a power from the comet, and it's a power that only once in a lifetime, sometimes not even that, firebenders can feel. And I thought that the air nomads really, really, really were able to hold their own even against the firebenders when they had like their ultra firepower. And I actually thought that was like a little crazy to me, that the air nomads could hold themselves for so long, and also that Monk Gyatso, who ended up battling Sozin in the end, you know, like that super emotional scene, like it felt a little OP, like overpowering for me. Like if it had been a normal day, those firebenders would have like, the air nomads would have kicked their butt.
Yeah.
So
well,
I thought that was interesting, like the power dynamic. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I was like, oh, if they had attacked the air nomads in any other day, they would have absolutely been defeated. But because it's this day, they can't.
I mean, I think that's also why that he was so threatened by the fact that the next Avatar was going to be an airbender, and that why he felt the need to do this first while the comet is happening, because fire cannot survive without air. Like and so people can't survive without air. Like air is so essential, and being able to manipulate it, I think that's part of the reason why they could hold their own so much, because like if you can control the air, you can control the fire.
And we know that in Legend of Korra, I forget his name, but an airbender uses airbending to like take away someone's breath and like to kill them that way.
Because Alex said that when one of them sacrificed themselves, I don't know who it was, in that like chamber, that there's rumors that like he just pulled all the air out of the and killed himself in the process. Yeah, so that's Monk Gyatso.
Oh, Monk Gyatso, the theory is that Monk Gyatso took all of those firebenders down with him because he sucked out all of the air out of the room, and chose like his own death. And it's very likely, like rewatching that scene, it's like, how else would that have happened? So that's like a pretty common theory.
There's like really a dark side to the way that these powers can be wielded.
All of them.
Everything. Like the waterbenders can like
pull the water bend out of people's bodies,
which is fucking creepy. So but anyway, those are my general thoughts about it. I loved so much about the show. Like I feel like the costumes were really like just so accurate to the cartoon. Like it looked just like it. What did you didn't like them? I thought that they were so accurate that it was like that's part of the reason why Natasha was saying like with the camp thing. Like I was like, are you guys going for like cartoon come to life?
Well,
like,
so
that's going for.
I had an issue with it. I agree with you. It was like almost identical, especially the main three, especially Katara, Sokka, and Aang. I was like, that is ripped out of the animated series. I am not of the camp that LOL.
That it should
I'm
be
not
like
in
that.
the camp that it should be like that. I'm sorry, their costumes would not be that clean. If they're wearing those day in, day out, their costumes would be a little more rough and ready and tumbled. Like they genuinely looked like out of a cartoon. The wigs, oh my god, do I have an issue with the wigs?
They were very
the
out
wigs
of the
looked
cartoon.
so out of the cartoon. And I was like, if we're gonna do live action can we please do live action? Can we please
it was
do this?
almost like they didn't know what vibe they were
Yeah,
doing.
and I didn't actually. I also watched One Piece, which is an anime turned live action by Netflix, and it didn't actually. It wasn't as like aggressive in One Piece. I thought they did a better job with the hair and the makeup and the costuming. And I think there's a line you walk. There's a line of like absolutely looking like the animated series and really finding the characters and like doing the hair loopies of Katara and like Yue's silver hair, but it looked so fake.
Her
and
silver
it pulls
hair
me
looked
out
really
of it.
bad.
Is that the,
Oh, that
the
was the
princess?
worst. Yes,
Yeah.
Princess Yue. Her hair, oh my God, I have so many feelings. I was like, you could have made her the most cosplayable, the most beautiful, like the most stunning part of that TV show, and you didn't. Like, if Yue was done well, I would absolutely cosplay her. I don't know if I can. But it just drives me crazy.
So, like, would you have wanted to see like Yue's hair more like Daenerys Targaryen type?
Yes,
thing,
yes,
where it's
100%.
Like not
Yeah.
like the
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
wig was so bad. I also thought General Iroh's wig pieces were pretty bad.
It wasn't very good. Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, Aang and Sokka looked good with their hair.
Yeah.
Listen, but Zuko's hair was never going to be attractive because it's
Yeah.
that fucking shaved ponytail thing.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing is, like, this is the thing. It was, yeah. I mean, I feel like if they leaned into one or the other, I would have been, because I was like, thought they were leaning into camp, but then they weren't leaning into camp. So as it went on, I got like more like, oh, I don't know about this costume choice. But in the beginning, I was like, oh, perfect costume choices. And then like I really evolved around like episode 4 or 5. I was
I
like,
just wanted them to be more accurate.
yeah. Well,
More
accurate to,
lifelike.
like real. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly.
Grounded. Yeah. Because like they would go back and forth with their tone, and it was like they're figuring it out. That's why also I think really season 2 has a lot of potential to be like so much better.
Yeah,
because
no, it will be.
they're
because
working
it
out
was
the
in
kinks of like
animated
tone.
too.
Yeah.
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 I'm curious about Toph. Like, I'm very excited to see Toph. Her casting hasn't been announced yet, but I'm so excited.
The bending in the show is amazing. Like I think that is the highlight of it for me. Like especially episode 2, like the Avatar state was fucking awesome. The fight choreography was so good. Those scenes.
I loved the fight choreography. I loved the fight
Yes.
choreography that didn't include bending. Like
Yes.
Zuko versus Aang
Yes.
in the market was beautiful.
Yes.
It was like a dance. I thought Dallas Liu, who plays Zuko, is so clearly like a martial artist. Like
Yes,
he's
I
so
know.
clearly
I was
talented.
like,
He's
he
so
is
good.
a martial artist.
Yeah, like he
That's
is
why he
incredible
was
to watch.
Definitely cast in that role because
Yeah. Oh
there was
yeah.
someone else. I don't remember his name, but he's one of the like the other like
The guy who plays Jet.
yes. I'm like
Yeah.
Alex was like
That guy was
he
hot.
should have been Zuko.
Yeah.
but I
Oh, I don't think so. I love Dallas. I think Dallas was like pretty much perfect.
I think emotionally he's pulling it off. Like no matter.
Oh my god,
what.
yeah. And like
Yeah.
Zuko is whiny in the first season.
Yeah.
He's annoying in the first season. Like he's
Yeah, he
not
really
I thought Dallas
evolves.
made him way more likable than actually Zuko is in the animated. Like Zuko is a much more likable character in this season or in the live action in my opinion from the get-go.
let me tell you though. Now, as Zuko was built up for so long from all the girlies who told me that he's like Kylo Ren. Listen, I love Kylo Ren and I love his redemption arc and all of that. But the reason why I like Kylo Ren is because he's hot. And I saw him.
Zuko gets really hot.
Okay, I hope so.
I promise you. Hey, babe. I don't know where. Do you see him?
Yes, he is hot there.
He's very hot
then,
in the animated,
like-
but he's not hot in season 1.
No, and then I was talking to Christine, and I'm like, wait, no, but like Sokka is like way cuter. Like he's like a little
You know,
like
Sokka's hot.
Sokka's hot. Like he's like a little Taylor.
Also, all the
Lautner.
actors are legal, by the way. Just putting that out there for everyone in case you're wondering. All the actors, Sokka, Jet, and Zuko, are of age and in their 20s. But no, I have such a big crush on Zuko because I know what he's going to become. But like, I think if I was just watching the live action, I wouldn't be obsessed with him yet.
No.
Like the actor is very, very gorgeous and he's so talented. But you'll get there. You'll get there, Natasha. I don't think you'll ever get to the level of Kylo Ren. I don't think anyone will ever get to your love of Kylo Ren.
But Zuko has a great arc.
He's gonna not have as good as of an arc in this one.
Why?
In my opinion, because
he hasn't arced yet.
He's already likable. Like,
Well,
he's not likable at all in season 1. Like, there's like the tiniest shimmers. He's much more likable in this, so the arc isn't going to be as big or as impactful, I don't think.
Well, I guess we'll see what he goes through in season 2.
Yeah,
they can always take it out.
Totally. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. We just got to see how the writing goes. But other stuff we loved. Throw some stuff out here.
I loved Azula. I mentioned this earlier, but like this is a hot take because everyone was really upset with the casting for Azula because she looks really sweet.
This is the exact. I didn't know the casting. She comes on screen and I was like, "What the actual fuck? That is not Azula. That girl looks so nice. I can't even."
Okay, but I kind of love that. I kind of loved that she looked nice. Also, I feel like you have to keep in mind the animated series did not do a good job at this. Azula's 14. Azula is young. Azula is like barely a teenager. And yes, she's impressive and she's a fighter, but she's still a kid almost. Like, I thought she was believable as a 14-year-old, like really trying to get her father's approval and make sure that she's like secured as the heir.
Believable.
Like, I thought that her casting was actually perfect. When I initially saw her casting and Suki's casting, I was like, oh, maybe they should have switched. After watching the TV show, I think they did such a good job and they were the right women for the right roles.
I think Suki was amazing, and the scenes with Suki and Sokka were like my favorite.
My God.
Series.
They were my favorite too.
Yes.
The chemistry between the two of them and the like wrestling on the floor.
Yes.
Oh my God. And then Sokka with his hair down and shirtless and like when she wipes off her makeup. Okay. Drop your makeup remover, please, because that was next level. When she like turns away, she wipes it quickly off, and then she turns back and she looks perfect. I'm like, there ain't no motherfucking way. She has 3 cotton pads of micellar water, and it's gray. It's gray. Her face is gray. Get out of here.
Yeah, their scenes were so sexy. It was like, oh,
yes,
shit.
I was turned on
real fast.
Yeah, I went back and I was like, I also loved their development. Yes. I thought they did so well with such little time
in the whole series.
We all agree.
Episode 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Episode
2 is the fiercest, and Suki and Sokka carry. They carry, and Suki's like, Suki's awkwardness and Sokka's awkwardness is so cute and so beautiful. So they had very little time to develop a gorgeous relationship that was like believable, and the chemistry was there, and they did it. Yue and Sokka, on the other hand, who have pretty much the same amount of time, nothing. It was giving nothing. Yeah. I'm like, why are you kissing right now? What the fuck is the motivation? I did not understand it, and I actually felt the same way about the animated series.
I did too. I was like, this is nothing to me. Why are we even doing this?
Why are we even doing this? And like, it's gonna make that iconic line not hit as hard in season 3 with Zuko and Sokka, if they even do the line. But like,
wait, I forget the line.
My girlfriend turned into the moon. Oh, that's rough, buddy. Like, we'll see. Like, it's an iconic moment in the animated. We'll see if it like pans out, because they didn't include every line.
See, it wasn't iconic for me because I didn't care about their relationship. So I was like,
well, that's the other thing. Like, their relationship was so meh.
Like, I was pulling him and Suki from the very beginning.
Oh, like, yeah, no, God. Suki and him are hot. They're hot.
They just have like, it just works.
The arc in that little episode of them like fighting together, training, going to them fighting together against the Fire Nation gave me so many chills. Like when she gave him the fan, oh my god,
so
I loved
good,
it so much,
so good. I am bummed that they took out Sokka's sexism. I think a lot of fans are.
I can't even remember it because I've only seen it once. What did he do?
Sokka was pretty sexist in the first season, and it's a big part of his character story and his character arc, and it's a big part of him and Suki's like first meeting and first encounter, because he's like, "Where are the men that attacked us?" And Suki's like, "Hello, it's us, this group of women." But I thought that Suki and Sokka still came out pretty good, even without that, like, you know, kind of
tension.
fight and tension between the two of them, because there was still that like awkwardness.
Yeah.
But I'm curious like to see what they do, because Sokka's like pretty perfect already. Without the sexism, he's kind of like almost a perfect character.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah, the only thing that he has is like the bickering with Katara though, and I'm like, okay, that's just siblings. So I'm curious to see like if he has
hasn't
even
come
an arc.
into his own. This is okay.
Yeah.
This is a thing. Like I can see what you're saying. Like he is like arcing into like he says like, oh, I designed it. Like I helped design that ship or whatever. And I was like, would he say that yet? And Katara even does this happen in the cartoon where they're like master Katara by the end of season 1?
Yeah, she's pretty much a master.
This.
She's a master, but it is not believable in
the show.
In the live action show, yeah. So Natasha, for context, Aang and Katara train together and waterbend the entire season 1.
Yeah.
They do none of that.
Yeah.
Like book 1 is supposed to be
she's like Rey Skywalker. I mean, Rey.
Yeah.
At the very
for real.
end.
No, for real. Like, so book 1 is supposed to be like Aang is learning how to be a waterbender, and then they get to the northern tribe, and they are able to like, you know, do the advanced stuff because Katara has a water scroll, which she has in this one, but she teaches Aang at the same time she's learning, and that didn't happen at all. So Aang is going to have to learn waterbending from Katara as a master in book 2 at the same time he's like looking for an earthbending teacher. So I really disliked that change, and Katara does become a master by the end of it.
It just didn't feel
but
real.
But it's because Paku like ends up teaching her in the northern tribe as well.
Okay. So I didn't imagine that. I was like, doesn't she train with him after
no,
she proves herself?
Yeah, she trains a bunch. And also like the change that like Jet helps her. I was like, oh my god, like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
I want one more thing before we move on for episode 2. I thought the Kyoshi warriors were perfect. Like they were just so stunning, and like I want to be a Kyoshi warrior. And I felt that way during the animated series, but even more so. And Kyoshi, the Avatar, got way more representation, which was fan service, because the fans have become obsessed with her because she's like a lesbian and she's like a bad bitch and everyone loves her. But Kyoshi like is one of the most powerful avatars of all time, and they showed that way more in the live action than they did in the animated.
Is she in episode? Which one's Kyoshi?
Yeah, in episode 2. She's the one that comes and helps Aang, and like she's like the woman powerful avatar.
I also love how Arden Cho just like randomly shows up. I was like, oh, I had no idea she was in this.
Wait, who is she playing? I didn't even notice.
She plays Kyoshi, doesn't she?
She does?
No, she doesn't.
Oh my god, I didn't even clock that.
Wait, oh yes, no, she plays June. She plays
Who's June?
June is the
Arden
bounty
Cho.
hunter.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I knew I recognized that actress and I could not place her. I was like, why
everyone
do I
is
know
calling
her
mommy online.
She is so hot in the show.
She's so
like,
mommy. Oh yeah. Well, she was also
wow.
hot in the animated, but they switched it. They made her have a crush on General Iroh, whereas in the animated series, General Iroh has a crush on her, which is like kind of creepier. So they switched it, which is cute. I actually really liked that switch too.
All right. So really quickly, okay, so to wrap up our conversation here, let's talk about what we're hoping for in the upcoming seasons. Maybe like what our least favorite aspect of this season was. Like I really didn't like the Spirit World episode. I thought it was really wonky, clunky,
I agree.
It's made me uncomfortable. Like I didn't like it that much in the animated because that creature really fucking scared me. That worm guy,
face stealer, yeah,
horrifying. But it was so much worse for me watching
what
like
was
the
the
live
Spirit World
action
episode.
It was the one
it's
with,
called Spirits. It's the one where they go to the spirit world.
Yeah, and the big owl is there.
Yeah. And
like
also meet
that
Avatar
creepy
Roku.
bug guy is there.
I think I tuned out of a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Well,
paced
so
very strangely.
They smushed together like 4
Yeah,
episodes
storylines,
from
yeah.
the animated series, and it did not work in my
Did
opinion.
not work.
They combined a lot of episodes actually. Like
Yes,
they moved
Jet
things
and-
around, and
yeah.
the storyline was a little interesting. I thought it was done well-ish with Inomashu with Jet.
Yeah, it was better in Umashu than it was in the spirit
in the
world.
spirit
That
world.
was a fucking
yeah,
mess.
it was clunky. I agree with you, and it wasn't like super fun. Like
No.
also, yeah, it's a really terrifying, really terrifying episode.
It's
for sure.
scary, like for children. Out of any, or even me, honestly, like at the end of those scenes where that guy popped up, I was like, ah,
Yep.
I don't
Yep,
like
yep,
it.
yep.
I didn't like
Don't
the old crazy
like it.
king guy who also knew
Yeah,
AIM.
Boomy.
Boomy.
Like he I didn't like him at all. He freaked me out.
I agree with you. He's much more lovable in the animated series, and like I think it's actually much more realistic how they did it in the live action. Like he would definitely be bitter
Yeah.
if he had to live 100 years through a war. But I also wish they had just hired an old actor instead of aging a young
was very
actor up,
weird.
because it looked, it did not look good. Like no matter, like the makeup was like, no matter what you do, you're aging someone 100 years. I'm pretty sure, like the actor's young. He's like 30. I'm like, what?
Oh my god. Yeah, it was. I didn't love the pacing of any of these center all. You know what? Honestly, all the way through the end, I was like, pacing is weird.
Yeah, like the writing just needs to get better. Like that's
Yeah.
my biggest hope
Yeah.
for season 2, is that the writing gets
Yeah,
better.
it starts with the writing, and if the writing's better, everything else kind of like falls into place because the
Yeah.
actors are great. Yeah.
I also like hope that there's a little less fan service, which is like, or I guess
Like no
obvious fan
cabbages?
service. Like no, if they don't keep the cabbages, I will riot. That was important and necessary. He's a lead character in the animated series in my mind. But like Ty Lee and May, for example, are in season 1, and they did not need to be there. They just stood around,
Yeah.
like watching
Yeah.
Azula. Like it just with that, like was not my
I
thing. I want to
love-
believe. I want to believe the writing. I want to believe that people
Yeah.
are supposed to be there.
Yeah. Is the prison episode in season 2 or season 3? Like they really shine
Which
in
prison
that
episode?
I don't.
Oh,
remember.
Boiling Rock. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. It's in season
Yeah.
3. May and
Okay.
Ty Lee really shine in season 3. Like
Yeah,
that's
they do.
that's their moment. So when they got announced
May
as
is
cast,
so. Wait, which one's the acrobat? Is it Ty Lee? or
Ty
May?
Lee. Ty Lee.
Okay, she is so cool.
She is so cool. They're both so cool. I thought their wigs were also really bad.
Yeah.
I like barely paid attention.
I like
to them.
I would like to see more of that aesthetic just to kind of calm down a bit. Like I would like to
Yep.
see like more like real world costuming and hair and makeup.
Yes, me too. 100%. 100%.
But I mean they've already
Okay.
set the standards, so I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Well,
I think
they
they
could
can walk it
shift,
back.
like
Mhm.
subtly. Yeah, walk it back.
Wait, can we please talk
I
about Princess UA
Oh,
With the
oh my
part.
god.
thing that you wrote down?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Okay, that was such a weird, random scene, and I was like, she's
They
using
did
her
her
water
so
bending
dirty.
powers to make ice cream.
They did. They did Princess Yue so dirty. Like Princess Yue in the animated is at least a little more likable. Like
I didn't feel anything towards her. They didn't do a good job with her.
no, they didn't. And it's again not the actress's fault or Sokka's fault. But one of my favorite scenes is when Princess Yue and Sokka go on a ride on Appa as a date, which is something they do
Very
in
Aladdin.
the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cute. And it's like what makes them believable. And they didn't include it in this. And I was like, what? That is the best part. Hello? I was really upset about that.
I completely blocked out all the stuff with Iwe. I was like, did she become one of the fishes? Like,
Yes, Yue becomes the moon.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we were all pleasantly surprised, especially, okay, I went in with such low expectations because once the creators said that they were outie, I was like, oh, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And then we saw the first trailer and it looked really good. I was like, wait.
The first trailer made
There's
me
hope.
cry. I
I
was
know.
so emo. I was like,
I
it's happening.
know.
It's real. I've been waiting for years. No, I was thrilled.
Yeah, so like the first 2 episodes, I was just blown away because I was like, it's good. All right, we're gonna move into Mary Kiss Cliff to wrap up our Avatar discussion. All right, Mary Kiss Cliff today. Chloe, you put this together. What is it?
I did. So again, these actors are all of age. Zuko, Sokka, or Jet.
All right, and it's the characters or like the live action?
No, the character. The live action characters.
Okay.
So like specific, not the children. Yeah, not the children. Not the animated.
Yeah.
Yes, but
yeah. Well, I'm gonna marry Sokka. I will. I guess kiss Zuko and Cliff Jet.
Jet's hot, but like
He is, but like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna marry him, and I feel like more of a kinship to Zuko by the end of the series. So
true.
yeah,
I'm
Jet is
gonna.
really hot though.
Yeah, Jet's really hot. Also, I really love Jet and Katara in the animated. Didn't love them in the live action, which is a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
In the live action, sorry, can I just say this really
Yeah.
quick? It made me uncomfortable because the discrepancy in their age looks so
Yes.
vast on
Oh, forget about
screen.
that. Yeah.
really,
Katara
I guess I didn't
looked
even
like
see
a
that.
baby next to him to me.
Yeah.
I was just like, stop
My
hitting
wife,
on her. This is
I'm like,
weird.
I don't like this.
She looks like she's so young next to you.
I guess I didn't see that. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
just like blocked it out. I would marry. We all know how I feel about Zuko after our boyfriend
Yes.
episode. I would marry him. Like I said, I think our daddy issues mesh well. I think I would kiss Jet because I love a bad
Wow.
boy and I kind of
Wow.
like want to see what he's like. And I would cliff Sokka. Oops.
Wow.
But I would also, or I could just
I'll
like
be
do all
rescuing
3
him
of
with
them at
Appa.
once.
Wow.
Wow. I feel
Christine
that.
did not hear that, and she was
I
like,
did.
"Ooh." "Oh, you did?
I did
You
it.
just
I did a
ignored it.
second later. No, that's why I said wow.
Why not all 3?
Because you have to pick one.
Yeah,
for
I
Mary,
did,
one
I
for
did,
Cliff,
but
and
I
one
don't
for-
want
Okay,
to.
I'm gonna marry Sokka. I'm gonna
Mhm.
kiss Jet, and then I'm gonna push Zuko off. the
Wow.
Wow, wait, we're all different. That
Yeah,
never
yeah.
happens.
I feel
It
like
doesn't ever
Zuko,
happen.
he'll have to come back and win my love. What? Alex looked
He
at me with
will.
the. He's like a. I don't like Zuko yet.
He will. He will come back. I'm a Zutara girly, so that's the one change that they better do. They better do it. I want Zuko and Katara to be in love. Also, the Avatar Netflix team knows because their Instagram, all of their Instagram posts are like Zuko and Katara, every single one. And
so
I'm like,
you are
I
looking
see
for
you.
some fan service.
Stop
You're
teasing
looking
me.
for that fan service right
Yeah,
there.
I'm looking for the fan service I want, and then the fan,
Nothing
not the
else.
fans, nothing else. Yeah, obviously.
Oh my god. All right. So that is going to be our episode today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please follow us on social media. Chloe
it.
Laverson right here is our social media manager. She does a great job.
Sounds like
so
a
make sure you're-
bitch.
You're
Hater.
following us on Instagram at Those Porking Fangirls. And we're also on TikTok and YouTube, like I said, so that way you never miss when we're doing different things, announcing different things. Like I said, our link to our Patreon's in the description, and we are going to be off to record Fangirl Tea Time right after this. We have a lot of stories since we missed 2 weeks of recording here. So that's going to be really fun today. Again, that's available on our Patreon from Team Jacob and up. Our show is edited by Jake Needham and Alex Polis with music by Cole Jenkins and vocals by Heather Traska. We release new episodes of Chapter Chat every Thursday and new episodes of the main show every Friday. My name's Christine.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Chloe.
And we'll see you next time.
Chloe.
Bye.
Bye.
my voice.
Au revoir.